Today I'm going to show you guys how to make my very popular cupped bustier bodice. So it actually is a bra pattern, so each of these pieces are measured off of your bra size. So you'll want to keep that in mind when you're cutting it out. I believe the pattern goes from like a 30A to a 44 double D. I tried my best to pattern match along this stained glass, but it doesn't go as well as I planned it to go. You are going to want to pay attention to your grain lines big time on this, because over your cups you really want to get that stretch if your material has stretch. So like what you're going to see here is I am laying down my pattern piece like this, and it's on the bias, which is where the greatest stretch of this non-woven fabric is. And I cut both the outer part of the cup and the inner part of the cup along this. You're also going to want to have a natural fiber lining as well. This is where we're going to sandwich our bones between, and a natural fiber is also way more breathable against the skin, and it's going to be more comfortable for long-term use as well. Once you've done that, you're going to lay all your pattern pieces out like this. So you have your fashion fabric layer on top and then your lining fabric underneath. Next, you're going to sew it together, starting with your fashion fabric and moving on to your lining. Next, you're going to want to iron it all to keep it really flat, so that way when you stitch them together, it looks nice and neat, which is what we did here, starting along the top edge and stitching them together before turning it inside out and once again pressing to keep everything down flat and super clean. Next, it was time for the bones, which is more of an artistic freedom. So basically you want them to all go vertically, meaning you want it to all lay flat along the lines of the body. So you want to keep that in mind when you're marking your pieces. I did my boning channels about a ½ inch wide. That way I can stick all of my boning in and fit really nice and neat. Again, this is an artistic choice. This is really up to you on how you want your boning to look and how many channels you want in your piece. Once you're happy with how many boning channels you have, you're going to take it over to your machine like this, and using your invisible thread, you're going to stitch down your channels through both layers of fabric. Next, we move on to our cups, which is kind of a challenge if you are new to them or have never done them before. So don't worry if they don't look right the first time you do it. I know it took me quite a few tries to get them to look nice. This is where making sure your fabric was done with a stretch comes in handy, because now you have to stretch them over these pre-made foam cups that you can buy off of Etsy or at pretty much any Joann's. Again, don't worry if these do not come out right the first time. You can always rip out the stitches and try again. Nothing is permanent. Once you have them installed though, it's time to actually install the boning, which is just industrial size zip ties. I think they look a little bit nicer than Joann's boning, and they're a little bit stronger, but not quite as strong as spiral steel. You're going to want to leave a ½ inch on the bottom. That is in case you want to install a waistband or include it on another like dress or something else. Basically, I do each of my bonings one at a time, because you never know if both sides are perfectly even or not, and it's just easier for me to do them one at a time like this. And yeah, after that, you're done. This is what it looks like with the waistband on the bottom, or if you're feeling bold, make it a dress like this. Anyway, it's super easy and it looks really nice, and thanks for watching.